The 2024 presidential race ended yesterday, and this is what the country and the world woke up to this morning. Take a look.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're breaking down the reactions notable public figures have had to the 2024 United States presidential election, which saw Republican 45th President Donald Trump become the 47th, defeating Democratic candidate Vice President Kamala Harris. Please note, this video is unranked, with all celebs to follow listed in alphabetical order.
Do I think Donald Trump is a perfect human being? No, I don't think anybody on this planet is a perfect human being, myself included.
Adam McKay.
It's just blowing through all parody, all satire. It's existing in this kind of Ralph Steadman-like zone that's so grotesque and preposterous and cartoonish.
This outspoken filmmaker might be best known for his Will Ferrell starring comedies, but after Election Day, Oscar winner McKay was hardly joking around. In a blunt assessment of the results, McKay posted to X that, quote, "It is time to abandon the Dem Party. I'm registering Green Party or working families, but am open to ideas."
If I woke up one morning and there was a headline that there was a campaign event and Trump swung around because he thought someone was grabbing him and he punched a baby and everyone was cool with it, I wouldn't be that shocked.
Prior to those results being declared, the Anchorman and Big Short director posted the following question to X, quote, "Who would have guessed lying about Biden's cognitive health for 2 years, refusing to do an open convention for a new nominee, never mentioning public health care and embracing fracking, the Cheneys and a year-long slaughter of children in Gaza wouldn't be a winning strategy."
This kind of Coke, Pepsi political system that we're ping-ponging between, where you have these just absurdly incompetent, big money lapdogs.
Cardi B.
I know that she's probably emotional right now. I know there's probably a lot going on in her mind, and I know she's not listening to this, but she eventually will see it.
Grammy-winning rapper Cardi B was a vocal Kamala Harris supporter in the months leading up to the election, despite her 2023 comments that chastised President Biden's military spending. The performer is no stranger to speaking out about left-wing issues close to her heart, having twice endorsed Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders for president, and frequently espousing the benefits of Medicare and Social Security.
I just hope that she knows that no matter what happens tonight, that millions of people are proud of her.
Cardi posted an effusive thank you message to Harris after the results of the election had formally come in. In her letter, the rapper wrote that, quote, "I never thought I would see the day that a woman of color would be running for the president of the United States, but you have shown me that anything is possible."
She changed my mind. I feel like she was very honest. I feel like she said the things that I wanted to hear.
Christina Applegate.
What do you say we go out on a date? Have some chicken, maybe some sex. You know, see what happens.
Oh, let me get this over here. Sorry.
Whereas some public figures saw the opportunity to rise from the ashes Phoenix style following Vice President Harris's electoral defeat, others saw only despair. Such was the case with Adam McKay's Anchorman star Christina Applegate, whose emotional X post about President-elect Trump's win stirred up controversy and resulted in the Emmy winner issuing a public apology. Invoking her 13-year-old daughter Sadie, Applegate wrote that, quote, "My child is sobbing because her rights as a woman may be taken away. Why? And if you disagree, please unfollow me." After a series of fiery responses to X users who took issue with her posts, Applegate once again posted to X, writing, quote, "I apologize. I'm still reeling and sobbing, but I'm not angry anymore."
Brick, are you saying that there's a party in your pants and that I'm invited?
That's it.
Did Brian tell you to say this, Brick?
Yes, he did.
Dave Portnoy.
He just didn't win. He won for fun. He won the electoral. He won the popular vote. He got more votes than last time he was president. Just a total ringing endorsement for the Republicans and Donald Trump.
Of course, while Hollywood and California as a whole are famous for their typically left-leaning stances, not every celebrity holds pro-Democrat or left-wing views. Such was the case with podcaster, entrepreneur, and Barstool Sports founder Dave Portnoy, who had endorsed Donald Trump days before the November 5th election.
People like myself, independents or moderates, the Democrats gave us no choice. The Democrats gave us no choice. That was the worst campaign.
Posting to Instagram the morning of the 6th, Portnoy proclaimed that Trump's win stemmed from his supporters' disenchantment with the American political machine, and that, quote, "Millions and millions and millions of people voted for Trump. He won clearly. He won decisively." Portnoy shared that he ultimately voted for the president-elect because, quote, I felt I had no choice but to vote for him because of the campaign that the Democrats ran.
And their moral superiority have driven people away. If you say you're voting for Trump, suddenly you're a Nazi, you're Hitler, you're garbage. Enough.
Ethel Kane. Despite hailing from Florida, a state that has gone reliably red for the past several American presidential elections, indie singer-songwriter Kane, born Hayden Silas Horner, could hardly be described as a conservative. The alt-pop musician, whose upcoming album Perverts is due to be released in 2025, had some choice words for the president-elect and particularly his supporters. In a Tumblr post, hey, remember Tumblr? Kane wrote that, quote, I must say, if you voted for Trump, I hope that peace never finds you. Instead, I hope clarity strikes you someday like a clap of lightning, and you have to live the rest of your life with the knowledge and guilt of what you've done and who you are as a person. Jake Paul.
Because I moved to Puerto Rico in pursuit of becoming a world champion in my boxing career, I have rescinded my right to vote. But that doesn't mean I can't present my 80 million large audience with proper facts, numbers, and data to encourage them to vote.
In what likely didn't come as a shock to those who have followed his career to date, the former Disney kid turned social media influencer turned professional boxer had emphatically endorsed Donald Trump ahead of the election. Posting a 17-minute-long endorsement video to his X account just a few days prior, Paul, quote, said he supports Trump in spite of his persona because of his ability to get results, according to Yahoo Entertainment.
Democrats have been in power for 12 of the last 16 years. So if we aren't happy with the current political state, economic state, environmental state, then who is to blame?
Paul, once again posting to X once Trump emerged victorious, attempted to extend an olive branch to non-believers, writing that, quote, I hope some can see that the truth won in this election. Voting for bad orange guy is an emotional decision and not the truth.
Tim, I remind you that your running mate, Kamala Harris, is vice president, currently in the office, and hasn't done anything while she's in office.
Jame Lee Curtis.
Good morning, my name is Jame Lee Curtis. I'm a proud born and raised Los Angelina.
The Oscar-winning Halloween and Everything Everywhere All at Once star posted a disappointed but spirited message to her fellow Harris supporters on Instagram. In the lengthy caption for her post, which depicts an illustration of a bald eagle carrying an American flag, Curtis wrote that, quote, it means a sure return to a more restrictive, some fear draconian time. Many fear their rights will be impeded and denied. Many minority groups and young people will be afraid.
I'm proud to be the daughter of very ardent Democrats. My mother, Janet Lee, and Tony Curtis were deeply devoted.
However, it wasn't all doom and gloom. Curtis encouraged her followers to fight tyranny, and that, quote, that's what it means to be an American. That's what it has always meant and will always mean regardless of the outcome.
How do you make that decision? I want to make that decision based on someone's experience.
John Cusack.
So here's Trump, who's really an unmasked kind of like dangerous. He looks unhinged visually.
The actor, who has never shied away from sharing left-wing political opinions on his social media accounts, was deeply troubled by President-elect Trump's win. In an X post that he appears to have since deleted, Cusack wrote that, quote, the fact that the country would choose to destroy itself by voting in a convicted felon is a sign of deep nihilism, to put it mildly, in reference to the 2024 ruling that found Trump guilty of falsifying business records for hush money.
What he's saying is unhinged. And then he contradicts himself, and it doesn't even matter. So he's sort of like the GOP or the celebrity culture unmasked.
Cusack later posted quotes by writer Chris Hedges, who said that, quote, Trump expresses a childish yearning to be an omnipotent God. This yearning resonates with Americans who feel they have been treated like human refuse. He's
short attention span, fame-seeking, money-worshipping culture unmasked. So it's interesting in a way.
Stephen King.
The last time I was here, I had a president who had just given me a National Medal of the Arts thing, which we argued over.
Yeah.
And now we've got a president who blocked me on Twitter.
This iconic horror author, whose books have been adapted into a seemingly countless number of hit movies, has often posted to social media about his hatred for Trump. In fact, in 2016, King was one of a host of authors who signed a public letter denouncing Trump.
Except the court says he can't block anybody. So my question is, do I really want to follow that guy? I don't think so.
After Election Day 2024, King's response was simple and straightforward, but no less urgent. Comparing the state of American democracy to an antique shop, the Maine native wrote that, quote, "There's a sign you can see in many shops that sell beautiful but fragile items, lovely to look at, delightful to hold, but once you break it, then it's sold. You can say the same about democracy."
I might have said he had his head somewhere where a certain yoga position would be necessary to get it there. And that was it, man!
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. The hosts of ABC's The View.
My takeaway is that the system works. We live in a democracy. People spoke. This is what people wanted. I vehemently disagree with the decision that Americans made.
This long-running talk show has a complicated relationship with the president-elect that stretches back to his time before he ran for office. Trump, who many originally knew as a New York real estate developer and later as a reality show star, had often appeared on The View, outwardly chummy with the show's hosts, including Whoopi Goldberg.
Is it the outcome I wanted? No, but we live in a democracy. I have my vote. Right. Millions of people cast their votes did. And what's important to me is this. Tens of millions of Americans, our friends, our neighbors, our family members, voted for Donald Trump.
However, as the Republican politician noted during his appearance on the Joe Rogan Experience, that relationship soured quickly once Trump's unsavory comments about women, minorities, and more began to trickle out. After the results of the 2024 election came in, Goldberg defiantly refused to use the president-elect's name and praised Vice President Harris's whirlwind presidential campaign.
Everybody can always say, oh, she should have done this, she should have done this, She did what she did. She was everywhere. She talked to everybody. And people didn't come out. I don't know why. And it doesn't even matter. He's now the president. I'm still not going to say his name.
Are there any other celeb reactions to the 2024 U.S. presidential election that we missed? Let us know in the comments below.